Tune in Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the Your Body is Your Pharmacy radio show. Hear from the doctors that were among the first in the U.S. to merge the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda and natural medicines with the advances of modern medical science. Listen to pioneer doctors Virender Sodhi, Shalender, and Anju Sodhi to keep up with some of the latest medical advances and learn from some of the true leaders of Ayurvedic medicines every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. with the Your Body is Your Pharmacy radio show on Desi 1250 a.m. Radio that listens to you. If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information.
Dr. Sodhi and Your Body is a Natural Pharmacy. This program, I come every Saturday along with my brother Virender Sodhi and Dr. Anju Sodhi to teach you that you can help your body get rid of all the diseases. You have to follow the simple laws of Mother Nature. And today we are going to talk about mental health and Ayurvedic medicine. As you know, the mental health is taking a toll on a lot of people out there. Almost 20% population of USA, almost 20%, listen to this carefully, almost 20% population of USA is having some kind of mental illness today. And out of that, around 5% have serious sickness, mental sickness, and so there is a huge burden on the society of mental illness. And so we'll explore today what are the causes of this mental illnesses according to Ayurvedic concept and what we can do to help it. And do you have any better ways of dealing with these mental issues? So it's a very interesting topic, and as you know, the mental health is the foundation for thinking, communication, learning, resilience, and self-esteem. So, very important part for us to help is a good mental faculties. If we don't have a good mental faculties, we are going to have issues with our relationships, even between personal relationship, emotional well-being, and so you're not having a good relationship with your spouse or with your family, with your mother, father, brother, sister. And at large, it's also going to affect the community. And mental illness is not a taboo. It's not a something to be ashamed of, but it needs to be talked about and it needs to be taken care of. And so this is my purpose today, to make people aware of that what we can do to help the mental illness. And unfortunately, the drugs which we are using are not even cutting it either. Drugs like Abilify is sold close to $8 billion per year, and but that's not fixing. Yes, it will fix the symptom, but it's not going to fix the disease. So there are two different aspects. Yes, if you have a huge issue going on with the depression and stuff, it may cut it a little bit, but it doesn't fix it permanently. There has been lots of study published that people who are severely depressed, when they are put on different antipsychotic drugs, they have more suicide than the people who are not on the drugs. So there is a huge, debate which we should have within ourselves. Are we fixing the problem or not? And if not, what is the cause of it? Do we need to do something different what we're doing already? So we are going to talk about those concepts today. And before I go to that concepts of the Ayurvedic concepts, I'm going to take you a little bit back to the Ayurvedic concepts. So the Ayurvedic medicine, as you know, is more than 5,000 years old, and it's based on five element theory. And these elements are ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And why I want to talk about these elements? Because these elements have a lot to do with our balancing of the whole body. And whenever these elements in your body are out of balance, we are creating a disease process. And in Ayurvedic terminology, we call the ether and air, we call it a vata, and the fire and water we call pitta, and water and earth we call kapha. So we call them doshas. Dosha is a Sanskrit word again. What that means is when you are in balance, they protect the body. When they go out of the balance, they create a disease. Ayurvedic science is about balance. Nothing too excessive, nothing too little. There is the concept of ati yoga means excessive use. Heen yoga means not use or not proper use, or sorry, not enough use. Or asamyak yoga means you're not using it a proper way. These all are the cause of diseases. And you'll be surprised to see that our five senses are involved in making that programming on us. So our five senses are like you have the hearing, and you can hear thing, and that can start creating a imbalance in you. So for example, gossiping or a news, false news, or even a real news of some disastrous thing or accident creates a little programming on you, and you start kicking your hormones differently. Your cortisols go up, your epinephrine goes up, and you can be in fearful mode. Similarly, your sense of touch, is very important, and the smell, the tasting, all those, and vision are very, very important. So these five sensors in our body, we are constantly getting in connection with the mother nature, and we are making some kind of programming for that. And that programming is what's making us do things the way we do. So we can see that very important to have a balance in our life. And it is not uncommon that people who are anxious have anxious kids, or people who are angry have angry kids. So it stems from your family. A lot of times people who has a outburst of angers, and if you little bit dig it backward, and you see their parents did the same thing too. So it's like a vicious cycle, which we get all caught up in that one, and we have a hard time getting rid of that programming from us. So you need to work very diligently to remove those programming from your body. So the vata is very creative, basically, and people who are vata, they are very creative people, and they are quick learners. But also vata has imbalances too. So vata is very anxiety prone, and it's also prone to fear. So whenever people has the anxiety and fear, that means you are going into the vata mode. And to balance it out, you have to do the opposite, which we'll talk about a little later. So then if you are in pitta mode, pitta people actually very intelligent, go-getter, and overachievers, usually very disciplined, can be a good leader and speakers. But when they are not in balance, you are irritable, frustrated, angry, and you will say a language, harsh language, which you should not use. So pitta is very important for the anger part of it. The vata is important for anxiety and fear. The pitta is important for the anger. The kapha is constitutionally, these people are usually easygoing, very loving, caring people, but also has issues of attachment. So these people get attached to things, and they have a hard time letting them go. So we can see that all of us has these, anxiety and fear. So the anxiety is important for us. By the way, anxiety is not bad. Like, for example, if you want to go to a trip, like I'm planning to have a vacation next week to Puerto Vallarta, haha, that's great. But I need to prepare for that. So there is some anxiety to it. I need to have some clothing. I need to have some hat so that the sun doesn't get me. All those essentials. So I can make the list of it, and then that anxiety should be gone after that. But if I'm losing my sleep, oh my God, I forgot this and that, then it's not good. So anxiety is there to prepare us. So we need to understand that what is causing the anxiety. And if we are making those things, write it down, anxiety will be lessened and or maybe completely gone. Yes, I've done this. I have a 10 list to do. Anxiety is gone. The interesting thing about anxiety is about future, usually, and true. The anxiety is about future. The anger is about the past, which has already happened. So whenever we're talking about the anger, this is not, it is from the past. And a lot of times, if there is a fight or quarrel or anything happen between the families or brothers, sisters, or parents or spouses, those things are which has happened in the past, has nothing to do with the present, and people has a hard time letting it go. So when you have the anger, it is about the past. When you have anxiety, it's about the future. And so you can understand that these things, if you're holding on to it, these are going to change your psyche. And when you change your psyche, you are going to have mental illnesses. And we all go, the life is not a straight line, as you know. We all go ups and downs. The things are changing all the time. We will have the worst things we ever see in life, like death or separation or loss of a job. We can have the best thing happen to you, and like you can have new addition of a new family member, or you got admission to wonderful university, or you got hired by a wonderful company. So all those things are part of our life. But what we need to learn is learn to live in balance and in boundaries. When we are going too far with the pleasure and the sadness, that is what causes the mental illnesses. So very important for us to understand that concept. And most of us, we should be looking at ourselves on a daily basis. Hey, what is my thermometer saying to me about my anxiety? So we should have a kind of a thermometer. Okay, if I'm anxious today, or is it what I need to do? I'm fearful, I'm angry, or I'm attached, I have difficulty, let the things go. The attachment is funny thing, because if you look at ourselves, even my body is not mine. I'm going to go for recycling whenever my time is going to come. So nothing belongs to us. The money you earn, the spouse you have, the kids you have, the parents you have, the friends you have, they all are temporary. But we think it's so real. That's why in Vedic philosophy it's called Maya, or illusion. So this illusion is so true that we get caught in our own web. We create an illusion and attachment, anger, frustration, irritability, fear, anxiety, and we get caught up in our own web. And then we got more addition of ego. Then we get more additions of greed. And we just go on creating this huge network of these downsizing thing on the mental health. So we needed to be really, make a well-deserved observation on our thoughts, on our behaviors, and we should be able to look at it. And if you not do it, you're not going to fix the problem. You are going to keep that problem perpetuating, keep going on with the same problem. And if you don't, if you're not getting healthier, you need to change it. What you're doing basically, if you're not changing it, the results are not going to be different. We'll continue our discussion on the mental health and Ayurvedic medicine after the short break here. And we will talk about, what tools you have. And we'll also touch bases on anxiety, depression. And if you have any questions, you guys can call me at 844-301-1250. Again, the number is 844-301-1250 after the break.
Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information.
Hi, folks. This is Dr. Virender Sodhi with your show, Your Body is a Natural Pharmacy, where I teach you with my brother, Dr. Virender and Dr. Anju, that our body is a full pharmacy. We can make any drug on demand, but what we have to do is we have to follow the simple laws of Mother Nature, and we can be all healthy. One of my concept of health is disease-free society, that we don't need to have a disease to be sick. We go on making the powerful drugs and antibiotics and anti-diabetic drugs and stuff, but that's not solving the problem. I think I want you to understand that my concept. I'm not against those drugs. I am saying that those are not solving the problem because they will never solve the problem. Who can solve the problem is me for myself and you for yourself. Every one of us has to be responsible for our health. Your doctor cannot be responsible. Your mother, father, spouse, your husband, wife cannot be responsible for your health. You have to be responsible for your health. So this is the important concept which we always need to put in our mind. So keeping the discussion on mental health, so looks like there is a call coming in, and go ahead, please. This is Dr. Sodhi.
Good afternoon, doctor. I'm Angela.
Hi, Angela.
And I was really fascinated doing some research myself. I have PCOS, and I also have a gluten sensitivity. And what I've been reading is that this can influence a lot in people with anxiety, depression issues, when obviously the hormone imbalance. And I was just wondering, do you have any comments or how you can address that as well?
Yeah, sure, Angela. The reason the hormones has a lot to do with your balancing of the body, and body is very interesting. It go on, making the hormones for us on our demand, and so this is again under the control of our thought process. When we think, like when you get angry, so you're getting angry, but you're also making angry jittery molecules, and those molecules are disturbing you, and also you're creating a language which is disturbing others. So it becomes a fireball. We go on throwing fireball at each other without getting to the end of it. And somebody has to stop that throwing the fireball, and you get to the calmness of it. So yes, hormones are very, very important. And it's funny that you asked that earlier, but I was going to talk about that hormones too. And yes, gluten, I think there has been a big, huge problem right now. And it may be because the chemicalization of the whole farming industry. One of the concept which is put forward is that when these crops are dried out, they spray Roundup on them so that they can dry at the same time for harvesting. And the Roundup shows up in the wheat, and then when we are consuming it, it causes a problem. And Roundup is also a hormonal disruptor, so it disrupts your hormone. So it can really create a lot of problem for you, yes. And so that's why, when people come to me, first I ask them to avoid those things and maybe reintroduce organic food into your diet. And I'm a great supporter of organic and locally grown fruits and vegetables as much as you can get.
Yeah, and I just wanted to put that out there for other people. I've noticed I've refrained from gluten a lot, and that's improved a lot my anxiety and insomnia. So thank you so much for your comments today.
Thank you, Angela. Thanks for the
All
call.
right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So, yeah, bye. We continuing our discussion. So Angela has a very nice question about the PCOS and also about the gluten. But the other thing which I wanted to talk about the Ayurvedic concepts of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So Vata is the movement factor. Vata is the only factor which keeps the Pitta and Kapha moving. So, and Vata is under your thought process. When you think, we are creating a stir or movement in the Vata factor. So, according to the Ayurvedic principle, Vata nature have the falling tendencies, and we call them sattva or truth. Truth is creative. When we are in sattva mode, we are creative, we are artistic, we are inspired, we are very enthusiastic, we are very intuitive. But then we can also go into Rajasic mode or movement mode. And when we are in the movement mode, we can be nervous, anxious, fearful. We can be like manic. And then the third property or guna, which is called in Sanskrit, is tamas. So this actually is an interesting sattva, raja, and tama. They are constantly growing in our nature, in our mother nature. Every one of us goes through these phases of the truth, the movement, and the destruction. When we are in tamas mode, we are getting into addictive mode, depressed and psychotic and suicidal. So, but these are the properties of vata, and this is under the under your thought process. When you are thinking, you can create a reality, or you can create a movement, or you can create a destruction. So, very important for us to understand. There is another concept of happiness and unhappiness, or comfort or discomfort in Ayurvedic medicine, which is called sukha and dukkha in Sanskrit. So the comfort is living in the present. So like if I want to be really comfortable, I need to start living moment to moment. Otherwise, if you get stuck in the past, you will never be happy, because you always either will criticize you or criticize others, or will get angry and frustrated. So living in a moment is very important. And dukkha is living in the past or the future. So this is, this is the basis of all the Vedic philosophy, even the Buddhist philosophy too. Eckhart Tolle said the same thing, living in the moment. So living in the past leads to depression. So when you are, stuck in the past, you are going to have depression. And when you live in the future, you're going to be prone to anxiety and fear. And the only way to be living happy or disease-free or even mentally happy is to live in moment to moment. And moment is such a short, it just goes away very quickly, even a fraction of a second. The words which I'm saying right now already gone into past. I cannot erase those words. Once they are said, once they are gone, they are gone. What I can do is I can learn from it, but I can't change it. So this is, I think we all need to understand that concept of comfort and discomfort. Comfort, living in present. Discomfort, living in the past or in the future. So when we start living from moment to moment, we are creating a really amazing health benefits for us. And so whenever these doshas, when they are in balance, our body is very happy. And we talked about that vata is the leader of all these vata, pitta, and kapha. And when vata is under imbalance, it can be because of the thought process or because of the things which we're doing or the food we're eating. You are going to create like anxiousness, insomnia. There are also physical symptoms like dryness, constipation, mental fogness. So vata, whenever you're going in that phase, whenever you are in that mode, you can be more anxious, you'll be more fearful, you will have insomnia, your skin can be dry, you can have constipation, the menses can be painful, you can have gas, bloating, abdominal pain, or pain, aches and pains in the body. So that is the vata. And we all go through these phases. So whenever we're in that phase, that means we have a vata imbalance. When the pitta go out of balance, we become compulsive. We will be irresistible, OCD kind of stuff, obsessive compulsive behavior, irritable, indigestion, inflammation. So I'm just giving you, few words here because these are each one of his very, very huge topic and we can spend hours and hours on it. But just to make you understand that whenever we are compulsive, and we all get compulsive, during our stuff, and we all get irritable, and we have a indigestion and inflammation. That means your pitta is out of balance. And when we have a kapha imbalance, we get lack of motivation. We're not cheerful. We're feeling ourselves down. We feel sluggish. People get weight gain, congestion, sinuses, allergies, congestion in the chest. People feeling drowsy, are depressed, lack of motivation. So again, you can see that we all of us can go through this vata, pitta, and kapha imbalances in our lifetime. And what we need to do, we need to learn how to unwind from these imbalances to create a perfect mental health. I have some announcement for you before I go for further. On June 17th, that's a Saturday, by the way, from 11 to 3:30 p.m. We are celebrating International Yoga Day here in Bellevue at North Bellevue Community Center, and we will do a live show from 1 to 2 from the same place there, and so we'll also entertain questions from the audience. We're hoping to have around more than a couple hundred people there. There'll be lectures. There'll be simple yoga technique demonstrations. We'll talk about what kind of food we should be eating, how you should prepare your food. Me, Dr. Shilinder, Dr. Anju, Susan, who is our wonderful yoga teacher. My wife, Rekha Sodhi, will be there, and she is actually preparing a vegetarian, delicious snacks for all you guys. So come on in. We'll have some fun, family time, and we will instill those beautiful habits of eating right, doing some breathing exercises, some doing nice, wonderful yoga stretches, and so that you can take that into your daily life and stay healthier. I will like to continue our discussion on the mental health and Ayurveda. So, what are the remedies in Ayurvedic medicine? If you have mental issues, what you can do? So, meditation, yoga, one of the wonderful tools. Really, really. Now there is a tons of data available, research available to support what I'm saying here. Recently, one doctor asked me to write a chapter for yoga, and she asked me to write only the research which has been published. So I start collecting the data, and it was interesting. I think I must, if I have written the whole thing, it will be a book of around 600 pages. It was still 40 pages chapter, and by cutting down the research into like a few lines every research, so there is a abundance of research available with double-blind control crossover to make you understand what that means is like you blind it up and then you make those crossover, like the groups who are blinded are put into the control or otherwise, and that tells you the real story. And yoga every time from almost all diseases has shown remarkable results. And then you want to also do the emotional balancing. One of the problems which we have right now in the society, and which is used to be an American trait, but now it has spread all over the world. Even families like from India, has the family ties are broken. Like I have come all the way from India, and my family is back in India. Although I'm lucky to have my brothers here, but rest of my family and my mom, when she was alive, she used to travel twice a year. She will come here, and then she will get homesick and she will go back, and then we will get home. We will feel that she's not here, and then she will come back again. So a lot of those things also causes the emotional stuff. So we have some societal stuff already, but family and friends are amazing help there you got for the emotional balancing. And then physical balancing is done through nutrition, exercise, again yoga, and the spiritual balancing is done by servicing our seva, our donations, our meditation. So these are the remedies which we give in Ayurvedic medicine whenever we have the issues. Like for example, anxiety is got so common now. It's like a lot of people are anxious. I think a lot more people are anxious. But the treatments are you getting this Valium or sometimes the SSRIs, which does not fix it. It just controls the symptom. Yeah, you go on taking this pill, it becomes like a a lollipop in your mouth, and then as long as you have lollipop, you're fine. But as once the lollipop is gone, you again like a small child. So I think we need to find a better way of helping all these things. Similarly, depression. Similarly, sleep. Sleep is a huge issue. We are not getting proper amount of sleep. I'm going to continue our discussion on this mental illnesses, and we'll catch on from sleep after the short break here. And if you have any question, you guys can call me again at 844-301-1250. And nutrition does have a huge role in mental illnesses too, as the one of the callers said. And I wanted you to, we'll talk about some foods which can create a problem, but certain food which can also help you too. And so let's continue our discussion on mental health and Ayurveda after the short break.
If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022.
As the Angela mentioned in her call that the hormones and the gluten, moods are under a lot more control under the hormones. For example, if you have a thyroid issues, patients are depressed, patients feel fatigue, patients feel lethargic. So if you don't correct, you can give all the antidepressant, it's not going to fix it. And even most of my colleagues out there who are treating hypothyroidism, they're not treating it as a whole. They are giving you a synthroid or levothyroxine, which brings your TSH back to normal, but that's not the whole thyroid function. Most of the naturopathic doctors are trained to look at thyroid differently. So we measure TSH, which is a thyroid stimulating hormone, but we also measure thyroid antibodies. You can have thyroid antibodies. So antibodies are like, if you have a knife and you have a sleeve on the knife, and now the knife is kind of worthless because it's not able to do the work it's supposed to do. So if you have the antibodies, the thyroid is not functioning properly. Also, you also look at the T3 and T4 value. So which is the production of these hormones by the stimulation from the thyroid gland. And if those numbers are not right, you're not doing good either. Also, you want to look at the reverse T3, so which can mimic like a T4. And so all these parameters, looking at T3, T4, reverse T3, TSH, thyroid antibodies, then you can see what is your thyroid doing. And synthroid or levothyroxine may be okay, may not be okay. Maybe have to add the cytomel or T3, or you may be better off taking the whole natural glandular. And I prefer to use the natural glandular hormone, whole hormone, and I've seen remarkable results with it. And a lot of females, when they get into like a menstrual cycle, they get depressed or they get aggressive because there is a hormone issues. They don't have the proper amount of surge going on between estrogen and progesterone. And when the female periods start, there should be more progesterone. And when you don't have enough progesterone, people feel weepy, crying, depressed, that nothing is worth enough. And when you have too much estrogen, you're more irritable and angry and frustrated. You almost like to choose somebody out there. And the females who have suffered with it, they know what I'm saying. And because I can say I'm not a female, so I don't know what they feel, but I have seen thousands of patients, and that's how I can say that this goes on with these females. So basically, it's not their fault. It's the hormones. The hormones are not balanced. And So we need to learn a trick how to balance those hormones, which can be done through the nutrition, can be done through the hormones balancing, can be done through the herbs also. Again, PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Again, it causes excessive amount of testosterone and androgens kicking into you. And testosterone, is a jittery and a angry hormone. When people has too much of testosterone, these people are the one who go out there and shoot people. And male and female both has testosterone, but the difference between male and female testosterone is that female testosterone is on the low side. For example, the highest normal is around 40, give and take. In male, it can be up to 800 and 900. So huge difference. But female has a lot more estrogen and progesterone than the male. Whereas male has estrogen too, but less of estrogen and progesterone than testosterone. So all those things can be very well controlled with the hormones balancing. And again, the hormones are under your own thought process. You can control hormone by thinking right. A lot of bipolar disorders are because of the PCOS or the adrenal dysfunction. So, we can see that hormones also play a very huge role here. We were talking about the insomnia and sleep when we went for a break there. Sleep is a huge issue, and there is lots of drugs which are given like a Lunesta or Ambien or sometimes the diazepams. Those anti-anxiety drugs are given sometime too, but that does not fix it. According to the statistics and studies, when people take these drugs, even as low as 18 pills a year, the chances of dying from these prematurely increases 3 to 4 fold. And people who are taking on like a higher dose is like 119, I think, pills a year, they have 5-fold chances of dying prematurely. So you can see that this is like a sure death sentence popping in the pill, sleeping pill. So that means it does not solve the problem. And and most of us, we have done to ourselves the sleep issues, because we keep these our PDAs and your cell phones and our computers, laptops, and your iPad and televisions, and we are watching the blue light from these things. It changes the setting of our pineal gland, and that disturbs the production of melatonin. And melatonin is the sleep hormone. It comes in the sleep, and it comes only at night. You can sleep all you want to sleep in the daytime, but your body does not heal. So for healing, sleep is very important, and very important for you to sleep by 10 o'clock and wake up by 6 o'clock, because we cannot change the mother cycle. This is how our hormones are triggered in our body through the sun and moon cycle. And if we don't want to do that, then we are creating a problem for ourselves. And these people will have problems. Tons of studies shows that people who work in the graveyard shift have a lot more heart attacks, cancers, osteoporosis, diabetes, mental issues. So sleep is very important part of our healing, and we need to sleep at night. We cannot sleep, in the daytime and get the results. Again, I want to make this announcement back again on June 17th. This is a Saturday, from 11 to 3:30. We are celebrating International Yoga Day, and at North Bellevue Community Center, and we'll also do live radio show from there. And we are expecting around a couple hundred people there. Please come on in, and the food will be served. Vegetarian food will be served. Snacks will be served, and we'll teach you beautiful, simple yoga postures, breathing exercise you can all do, and there'll be lectures on what we need to do to stay healthy on top of our health, because this is very important for all of us to stay healthy. And it is not a pill, it's not a herb, it's not a drug which can make you healthy. It's our lifestyle which makes us healthier. Okay, so now what kind of herbs are available to help to balance out your mental issues? One of the herb which is very common herb and very wonderful herb is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is my favorite herb for many reasons. One thing is very safe. The studies in animal models show that 25% of body weight, that means if you are a 100 60-pound person, 40 pound of herb did not kill that animal. Uh, so very, very safe margin, very non-toxic. Kids can take it, adult can take it, older can take it, and most of the time goes very well with a lot of treatment. It does enhance the effects of uh, phenobarbitones like barbiturates and the Valiums, benzodiazepines. It will increase the efficacy of that. So when you're on these drugs, you want to cut down those doses or take a small amount of. Otherwise, you will be more sleepy with this ashwagandha. Otherwise, not a big issue with any toxicity or cross reactivity. So ashwagandha helps to calm your mind and it relieves the nervousness and exhaustion, and it promotes healthy sleep. The Latin name for ashwagandha is Videnia somnifera. Somni means sleep, fera means to induce. So helps to induce. And how it does it? Because it lowers your zittery hormone cortisols. When your cortisols are lessened, and it lowers as much as 30% reduction in the cortisol. At the same time, it also boosts your natural hormone. And in Ayurvedic medicine, we call it adaptogen or rasayan. Adaptogens are which adapt to the body function. And if your body function is hyper, it brings it down. If it's a hypo, it brings it up. So it balances out automatically. And it boosts male hormones like testosterone in male and females too, if they needed to. It also increases female hormone like estrogen and progesterone if they needed to. So really safe and wonderful way of creating a balance in there. There is lots of studies on cognitive support, means your brain support, hormone support, mood stabilization, anti-anxiety medicine. The anti-anxiety effect of ashwagandha is as good as benzodiazepines or Valium. And I have tried it myself when we had in our family tragedy and we were going through a very rough time. I was taking ashwagandha so often and very happy to report that none of my family member took any drugs to treat our anxiety and depression with the tragedy we had in our life. And yes, I was taking 4 to 6 capsules every 4 hours, but after a couple of months, we didn't need that much either. So again, non-toxic, very, very helpful. And you can take a standardized extract of ashwagandha. My company makes it, Ayurveda, Ayush company makes it, and we have actually one of the best ashwagandha available in the market. Recent survey showed that ashwagandha from us is number second in among the top 10s, So very, very wonderful preparation. And usually I give 500 milligram of extract, standardized extract, 1 to 2 capsules a couple times a day. It can be bumped up to, it can be cut down to, depending upon how you're feeling. The second herb which I love is bacopa, or it's also called brahmi. There are 2 brahmis. One is Centella asiatica, which is also brain herb too, and bacopa. Both of these herbs has an amazing effect on balancing the brain chemicals. It enhances memory, has increased the learning and concentration. It is also really good for the epilepsy. Ashwagandha is also good for epilepsy, by the way, too. Anxiety and depression. And people who are on narcotics, and what happens is they get addicted to it. So what it does, it actually helps with the withdrawal. So what that means is that if somebody is on these narcotics or opioid drugs, like morphine or those kind of drugs, they get addicted to it. And if you put ashwagandha and bacopa formulation with it, and then slowly start weaning off the narcotics, these people will not have the withdrawal of those drugs. So which is a really good, because a lot of society is suffering with this withdrawals, and the narcotic use is a rampant, and we are having a big issue with it. So ashwagandha and bacopa can come to rescue for these people. Okay, so then another herb which is really balancing for the hormones is Mucuna pruriens, or it's also called kapikachu in Ayurvedic medicine. The Mucuna pruriens increase the dopamine or feel-good hormone. A lot of addictive patterns are because people has that they get the dopamine from that addiction. released in their body. And so when people has a decrease of dopamine, they can be depressed and sluggish and tired. So Makuna can provide that dopamine for you, but people who has a schizophrenia, they have too much dopamine in them, so they should not be taking it, because the schizoid people will already has too much dopamine, and that's what causes the lot of the schizophrenia symptom. So Makuna should not be taken by those people, but other people can take it, and it will help a really good, and it also has a hormone balancing effect. So again, I given already where between 300 milligrams a couple times a day to 3 times a day. The another one, which is my favorite, is a mineral actually, is a shilajit. Shilajit is a compound which comes from the mountains of Himalayas, and there is a black tarry stuff oozes out. This is a biological materials of the plants and animals when the earth was underwater, and that got decomposed, and those minerals got deposited in the rocks, and when the earth changed its form again, and the mountains come out, these tarry black stuff oozes out of it, and is considered really amazing good. There's a lots of studies done on it in Russia, in Europe. It is used by the athletes a lot, and it's again non-toxic, has a phenomenally good properties for hormone balancing, increasing your hormones, and it's again considered a rasayana or adaptogen. By the way, bacopa and makuna is also adaptogen. So adaptogens are those which helps to balance out your whole hormones there. So what you can do food wise, very important for us to think about what food can help us. So most of us, we are eating wrong. A lot of Asian families, the Indian families, or even American families, we are not eating the food which we are supposed to eating right now. A lot of foods are processed. I see lots of kids with allergies, autism, with the ulcerative colitis, with Crohn's disease, with the asthma, and the food change is the key. And a lot of these people are not very happy when I tell them that you have to cook at home. Guys, you cannot be healthier unless you start eating the right food for you. Because anything, like for example, when we do the food sensitivity testing in our clinic here, a lot of people shows allergies to dairy product, and these people get very upset at me. My God, if he's not gonna get drink the milk, how is gonna get the calcium? And my answer is very simple: where the cow get the calcium? Cow gets calcium from the grass. We get our calcium from the vegetables and fruits we eat. So one of the most important thing for almost any disease is adding lot more number of fruits and vegetables in your diet. The more fruits and vegetables you add, the more healthier. I'm recommending people to have 4 to 5 servings of green vegetables every day, and a variety, not eat same thing. And most of the food which we cook, we also cook it to death, so the nutrient get destroyed. Just semi-cooking is good, but the way the Indian cooking is, we're destroying a lot of food there too. And I'm asking my patients to change the way they are cooking the food. Like a traditional method is you put the oil first, you put the spices in it and hot it up and heat it up and kind of stir fry it, and then put the vegetables or beans in it, and then you cook with it. That is going to destroy all your spices, and the temperature of the oil is very hot, and it's also going to destroy your vegetables or beans you're putting in. So what I'm asking people to do is put the lid on without any oil and make your vegetables soften, and it should not be overcooked. Like for example, when you heat the broccoli and the broccoli from the light green becomes dark green, then it is good because it concentrates the phytochemicals in it. But if it turns yellow, excuse me, then we have done something wrong with it. So I'm encouraging people to cook that way. Then grains are good, but we need to have whole grains. The white flour, white rice, they are stripped of the nutrition. All the vitamins, by the way, are in the skin. So when we are eating white rice, we're eating a lot more carbohydrate, which does not have enough fiber, does not have any nutrients, and that's why we get diabetic with it. But when we eat the brown rice, that's what we ate for centuries and centuries until this century because we polish the rice. Similarly, whole wheat will be not a bad idea unless you're allergic to it. But there are also other grains. The other grains which I love is amaranth. Amaranth is a very wonderful source of protein. It has a lot of protein in it, and it's a full spectrum protein. So it's a wonderful good, and no wonder why people back home when we were fasting, we were taking the laddus of amaranth. Buckwheat, quinoa, millet, brown rice, wild rice, even corn, small quantity. So we need to have a variety of grains. Most of us, we eat rice and wheat, rice and wheat, rice and wheat, which is not good because that is going to have problem. The another thing which we should be adding is nuts and seeds. I encourage people to add, for vegetarian especially, they need to add more nuts and seeds in their diet. If you're not a vegetarian, I encourage them to take 2 handfuls. But if you're vegetarian, maybe you should take 3 to 4 handful of nuts and seeds. And why? Because one thing is a protein source. Second is a good source of fats and fiber and a lot of nutrients. Another important thing for us is oil, but not fried oil. A lot of people, when you fry, you making that oil rancid. When we consume the rancid oil, we are going to cause inflammation. And a lot of inflammation is the cause of anxiety, depression, and mental diseases. And basically, inflammation is the cause of every disease, even your diabetes, your heart disease, your cancer, all are because of the inflammation. So adding oil, and I like cold pressed. When the cold process is the procedure where the extraction is done with a cold process, so there is a less heat and it does not go rancid. And you use variety of oils. Even ghee is good for you. Contrary to the belief system that ghee is bad for us, ghee is really, really good for you. Olive oil, sesame oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil. There's so many different oils available. Again, use a variety of oils. Don't use one kind of oil. The more variety you use, the more better. If you're not allergic to milk, milk is also good for you. But if you're allergic to it, you can have nut milks. And I encourage people to make their own nut milks, and this is easy. What you can take, like for example, you want to make a nut milk of almond or pistachio or cashew. So take around 1 handful of nuts, put in a blender, put 1 glass of water, and you can put a little bit of cardamom, honey, maybe turmeric a little bit, and so if you want to put saffron, this is up to you. This is all optional, and let it soak overnight. In the morning, just press the button. You have the milk ready. And I don't want to strain it, because when you strain it, you're throwing the fiber. That fiber is very important for us too, by the way. So you can make your nut milk. Now, why you want to go for this headache? One thing is easy. It's very quick. How much time would take you to bring out the nuts? Maybe a couple minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. Put in the blender. Everything can be done less than 2 to 3 minutes. And then you forget it overnight. In the morning, you press the button, another minute, and then putting and serve another minute. So 5-minute procedure will give you a nut milk without chemical, without pesticide, preservatives. And most of the kids, when they are going to switch from cow's milk to nut milk, because they have allergies. But when you have preservatives, you're not helping. So we should not be eating a lot of animal protein, but animal protein can be beneficial for certain people, but not for everybody. And I encourage people to have more fish and chicken than the other, but it should not be like I'm not a vegetarian. I only take animal protein 2 times a week. And sugar, it should be the least amount. It's like I encourage everybody to have only not more than 2 teaspoons of sugar a day. And my favorite is raw honey. Red meat is not the best thing for you. It should be very less, if anything. And if you can avoid it, that's the best thing, because this is all coming from the research and the data which we have available. A lot of time, I think you'll be very well settled by taking nuts, seeds, vegetables, and whole grain, and you don't have to be dependent on other groups of the food. So we are coming to an end here, looks like, and so we talked about all these things. These are fish oils and berries and nuts and seeds. These are wonderful, good herbs for your brain health. And another one which I wanted to discuss, it looks like we're running out of time, is saffron and turmeric. Saffron is as good as Prozac for depression, and turmeric is amazing good result because it cut down the inflammation. So folks, have a wonderful time, enjoy your time, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers of the world. And I owe a lot to my mother, and I had my wife, who's a wonderful mother too, and wish every mother in the world happy Mother's Day, and we'll talk to you next week.